Bank of Ghana has banned pricing school fees in US dollars. So from now onwards, any school, hotel, real estate, Airbnb, landlord, or even car owners who want to sell their cars cannot sell their cars in US dollars. If that landlord or headmistress do not hear word but continues to price school fees in US dollars or rent in US dollars, you can actually report them to the Bank of Ghana or the central bank, and they are going to face legal actions and sanctions. Even if you book a ticket at the airport to pick a flight from Kumasi to Accra and the flight company charges in US dollars, you can report them too. The main reason why they have introduced this new initiative is to arrest the Ghana Cedi and create economic stability. They released an official letter explaining how this new regulation is going to work. We're going to dive into the letter and break everything down in this video. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to GH Online Radio for more trending news about Ghana, Africa, and around the world. Now, let's dive into the video. So the topic of the letter is notice to banks and the general public. On the first paragraph of the letter, this is what they wrote. The Bank of Ghana reminds the public that unlicensed and authorized dealings in forex activities, into bracket, black market transaction, including pricing, advertising, issuing receipts, making and receiving payment for goods and services in foreign currency, particularly the United States dollar in Ghana, are strictly prohibited under the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723. So what they are basically saying is, let's say you have US dollar and you want to change it to Ghana cedis, and you go to Aboki to change the US dollar. Instead of going to the Bank of Ghana or any of these recognized banks in Ghana to change the US dollar, if they catch you, you and the Aboki is going to be in serious trouble. That is what the first paragraph is saying. The second paragraph says that institutions, both public and private, and individuals engaging in such practices are hereby directed to immediately cease and desist. The third paragraph is where the interesting gist really is. And this is what they wrote. The Ghana Cedi remains the only legal tender in Ghana. Accordingly, no resident in Ghana, unless duly licensed or authorized by the bank, shall price, advertise, invoice, receive, or make payment in any foreign currency for goods or services, including but not limited to school fees, sale and rental of vehicles, sale and rental of real estate, airline ticket, domestic contract, retail shopping, online sales, hotel accommodation, etc. If you continue the letter, it says, exchange rate quoted and applied on invoices must reflect prevailing market rate of commercial banks and be benchmarked against the Bank of Ghana's published reference rate and not arbitrarily determined. Just as stated in the third and last paragraph of the letter, if you are a hotel, real estate company, or a school and decide to charge your prices in US dollars, you find yourself in big trouble. And the last paragraph basically means that if you are a bank, you cannot choose any type of exchange rate price that you want. You can't just wake up one day and say that, oh, okay, let's use 13 cedis for exchange rate. So if a customer comes to the bank and the customer is trying to change his money from US dollar to Ghana cedi, you as a customer, you can even pick your phone and search BoG current exchange rate for US dollar to Ghana cedi, and then you look at the rate and compare it to the exchange rate of the bank you are trying to change your foreign currency in. If you see a big difference in the price gap, you can actually report the bank to either the Bank of Ghana or the central bank. Now, if you go to the first paragraph of the letter, it says that the Bank of Ghana reminds the public that unlicensed and unauthorized dealings in Forex activities, into bracket, black market transactions, is prohibited. There are a lot of reasons why different groups of people like to engage in the black market instead of taking their foreign currency to the bank to change it to the Ghana cedis. And one of the most commonest and obvious reasons why people like to engage in the black market instead of going to the banks is money laundering. There are different categories of people who like to engage in the black market because of money laundering, but I'll focus on the top three. First group of people that like to engage in the black market because of money laundering are politicians, and there are serious reasons why they like to engage in the black market instead of taking their money to the bank. I'll break it down shortly. The second group of people are Yahoo Boys, and I guess most of us know the reasons why Yahoo Boys would like to engage in the black market instead of taking their monies to the bank. The third group of people are tax evaders, and there are lots of companies who like to engage in this type of activity. I'll break it down shortly. Now, let me focus on why politicians like to engage in the black market because of money laundering. Most of these politicians create fake companies and sign fake contracts so they can get money to fund those companies. When they get the money to fund the companies and they want to use the money for their personal activities, they know that if they pass their transactions through the banks, the bank will be able to keep their transaction history. So if any investigation is going on, they can easily track down all the activities that they used the money for. So in order for these politicians to avoid being tracked or being investigated and caught, they rather take the money, go to the black market, change the money from the foreign currency to the local currency, and then use it for their personal activities. Some use it to take their girlfriends to vacations, sponsor their girlfriends. Others also use it to buy companies, build houses, buy cars, etc., etc. With regards to tax evasions, I already stated that most companies engage in this type of activities, but individuals also engage in this type of activities. Under tax evasion, we have one serious example called the cash-intensive businesses. Under these cash-intensive businesses, companies and individuals create businesses like car wash, restaurants. Some even engage in real estate businesses. And what they do is, if you go there to buy something from them, they hide their products and services at exorbitant prices. And at the end of the month or year, they present the report on the business to the tax authorities to tax them based on the report, thinking that the real money comes from those businesses. But in reality, those monies do not come from the businesses. They come from places and activities that are very illegal. I'm not really sure that the Bank of Ghana can totally uproot money laundering and black market from the system. But I guess the regulation is going to put some measures in place to make sure that it checks those activities. It's going to tone it down instead of totally uprooting it. Because the real people engaged in this type of activities are mostly the leaders, the politicians, and the Yahoo Boys and some other people in the system. But you can also drop your opinion in the comment section of what you think about the new regulation that the Bank of Ghana has rolled out, whether it's actually good, or the Bank of Ghana can do better by adding some more security features to the new regulation. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to GH Online Radio. Till we meet in the next video. Cheers.